Kamala Harris has been the ultra-liberal driving force behind every single Biden catastrophe.
She has no vision, no ideas. She has no solutions for anything. In fact, they'd ask her a question, say, Donald Trump did this, Donald Trump did that.
They call me a threat to democracy, right? She's a threat to democracy because she shouldn't even be the candidate.
By the end of this video, you're going to understand why that was brilliant politics. People are not computers. When making a decision for who to vote for, we don't take a long list of ideas from both sides and crunch the numbers and come up with the perfect policy decision. Think about the last choice you made. Did you meticulously comb over every implication of it, from the present to the tomorrow to the far future? Or did you just have that Snickers bar because you were hungry and it was going to be good? The way we make decisions is not in such a hyper-logical matter. It's because it fits with our emotions and how we see the world and what we want. Now, Trump understands this deeply as a politician, and more broadly, it has to do with frames. What do I mean by that? In politics, people vote for the candidate not because their policy proposal is perfect, but because their policy proposal reflects how they see the world. When Trump wants to win you over, he's not really trying to sell you on the border wall, or he's not really trying to sell you on the economy. What he is trying to sell you on is that you have a view of the world that immigration is important, or you think the economy is mismanaged, and he is the candidate who's going to fix that. So relating it to this election, one of the most powerful frames in people's mind was that Joe Biden is unpopular. For better or worse, the inflation, the global instability over the last few years, Trump was able to very effectively tie Biden to all of that. And this was a frame that, with the debate performance on top of it, just made Biden completely collapse. I mean, the dude seemed incompetent, and I was kind of worried watching that debate for our country, frankly. But then Kamala Harris stepped in. However, Trump was able to skillfully tie Kamala to just be a continuation of Biden. And this is where Trump played a strong hand while Kamala played a losing one. Because, challenge for the viewer, can you think of a single marquee proposal of the Kamala Harris campaign? And you can't, because there were none. Kamala not only didn't remove herself from this frame, but she ran towards it. She just ran as a continuation of an unpopular administration. Now, the second part of framing that Trump understands brilliantly is to not run away from your opponent's view of the world. The way that Kamala was trying to run was as a continuation of Biden and as a safety choice by framing Trump as criminal and corrupt. Instead of cowering from this and hiding, as other politicians like to do, just repeating their own talking points, Trump relentlessly attacked that strategy. And he turned it into a plus for him among many of his supporters. Instead of being a corrupt candidate, he was one who was a target of political persecution and unfair prosecution. So what Trump did very well was not show fear from his opponent's frame, and instead think of ways how he can flip the script and then take his opponent's rhetoric and use it to build his view of the world. That since his prosecutions were unfair, since he was being targeted, that's just more proof of a failed Biden administration, which Kamala Harris is a part of, that you should reject. So I hope this gives you a little bit more insight into political strategy and how candidates more often than not try to connect with the way you view the world to get your vote, and ways that Trump was pretty successful in doing it, and why this was such a landslide victory for him. If you're interested in learning more about creating your own stories and frameworks, I highly encourage you to check out my video about storytelling and how it's the most powerful component of persuasion.